Alright, hello and welcome. So today we're going to do a small tutorial on how to customize our desktops. So obviously with Windows 10 we already know how we can put things onto our taskbar, we know how we can customize our start menu. This stuff is pretty basic. I'm talking about full-on customization, making it just look outstanding. A lot of us get tired of the same old boring desktops, and so what we're going to do is we're actually going to use an application called Rainmeter to do this. And before we get started with this, I want all of the people that are watching this to know that when you are looking for skins and things like that for this, make sure you have some type of virus protection software running before you start this project, because a lot of the skins and stuff online contain some nasty viruses, malware, things like that. It's very unfortunate that it's kind of come to that, but you can also find a lot of good ones out there too. So before you start, just make sure that you have some type of protection for your computer. That way, once you start downloading a lot of these skins to try out, you don't get some kind of nasty virus. So the first thing you're going to do though is you're going to open up Google, and we're going to go to, you can either search for Rainmeter, all one word, Rainmeter, and you could click on the link, or you can just go to www.rainmeter.net. Alright, not .com, .net. I don't know what you'll find at .com, I don't want to know. .net. This is the website that will come up. You'll basically just come right down here and start the download. Now I've already downloaded it and installed it, so basically we're going to move on to the next portion. Once you install it, you're going to get the basic package, and this is all we have for our customization right now. We have this little welcome to Rainmeter right here, with some help on finding some skins right here, some getting started, some manuals, some forums. I highly recommend using these. At least go to these before you put another skin on there so that you can bookmark them, because they're highly helpful. Alright? And all the basic does is it gives us some system information, and that's really about it. So once you find a skin, what you need to do is obviously download it and then extract it, and then there's a very specific place that we need to put it. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to go into your C drive, you're going to go to your users, find your username, and then go into your documents. From here you can either look for the Rainmeter folder. Sometimes it doesn't show up, that's fine. You can always come up here, click on it, put in a / and type in Rainmeter. From here you get your skins. You can click on this folder, and this is actually where your downloaded skins all need to come into. Now I already have a bunch of skins right here, but basically all you would do is you would copy and put everything right on over. Okay? Now when you download a skin, it should come with a bunch of folders like this. It should come with a small executable file right here, as well as a README file. All you have to do from that point on is basically double click this application, and it should go ahead and put your Rainmeter skin up on here. Now mine's already going to be partially customized because I copied and pasted folders from my laptop where I've already worked on this. Now as you can see, one issue that I have is that this does not fit my screen, and this is where we're going to have to basically do some editing of the files. Also, I've got so many icons over here that this just isn't working too well. Now I can actually move all this stuff over, so I'm going to click on this, hold it, and I'm going to drag it, and I can put it right on over here, and maybe this is where I want to keep some of those different things. Obviously there are some things that I may not need. Now obviously I really don't want this. This does not look very good, so I'm going to unload that skin. Alright, so we can continue to customize. This one is actually a volume control. This would be highly helpful right here to just click wherever I want and increase and decrease my volume. This is an on-off toggle right here, so I can turn this off at any point in time. And it's kind of nice. What I can do is I can basically move this maybe down to right here where I can still get at it. And I still have some system resources as well. Oops. And I can click and hold, and I can drag that as well and put this wherever I would like it to be. Now, there's a Google search bar. There are some larger ones, such as this right here, that's going to become a little bit more difficult because this is actually, as you can see, in different pieces. So in order to move this, I'm going to actually have to move it in chunks. So you see, it's going to come not as easily as I would have liked for it to have come. And sometimes some of them are not as easy to move as others, and some of them are actually locked in place too. So right here I need to come in, and I believe I have to manage the skin? No. We have to position. Where is the lock? In here there is a way to basically unlock this skin, because basically it's locked into place. Oh, save position. Here we go. I think that's it right there. Maybe? No. So, like I said, I can't remember exactly where it is, but what we need to do is basically unlock oh, draggable. Here it is, right here. So right here we just come to draggable, you click on that, there we go. Now I can move this whole piece right here and try to line it up. And lining it up isn't exactly always the easiest thing to do. Sometimes, you know, you might have multiple ones here that you'll need to, there we go, this one, so that one should be draggable. Oh, I'm still clicking on the wrong one though. And sometimes you'll have a few issues like this where you can't click on some of them as easily as you would like. And unfortunately that's just kind of an issue that we're going to have to deal with here. There we go. Now we can click draggable, and there we go. Now I can move this one. Now, by default, you're going to get a few of these that are not going to have the different things on there that you want necessarily to be on there. So the links that actually come on, like say this skin, I didn't even know where half of those links went to. I needed to change these. So what you basically are going to do is you're going to right click on the whichever skin it is, because each one of these is an individual skin in and of themselves, and you're basically going to look at what it is. This is TechA shortcuts links right here, alright? So to change those, we're going to have to come into our folder right here, and we're going to look at the TechA shortcuts links, and right here it is. Right click on it, we're going to go to edit. Inside the editing, this is what's going to actually allow us to edit this portion of the skin. So the prefix, this is what's going to actually show up right here. You simply need to edit this to say Google Keep, and then put in the actual website that you want it to execute right here. Alright, now every skin is going to be different, and some of these skins are much more difficult to edit than others. So you want to keep that in mind as you're going through this project too. This one right here with links, very easy. Really couldn't get too much more easy right here with this. You know, we just keep changing them to what we want, and then you'll basically save it, and then what you'll do is afterwards, it's not going to show up automatically. You're going to have to right click on it, and you're actually going to have to refresh the skin in order for any changes to show up here. So now right here at home, I may not want this help desk because it's not actually going to work. Even if I bring it up, it's going to give me an error because it's actually an internal network server on our internal network. So I might want to go ahead and change that one. So we'll go in here, we'll right click, we'll go to the edit, and I'll show you exactly how this works. We're going to scroll down toward the bottom here where we actually have this one right here, and we're going to get rid of this right here. And what we'll do is we will go ahead and we'll say put in what don't I have on there? Maybe we'll go to www.rainmeter.net. Maybe I need to go and check something out from that later. So we'll change this to rain meter right here. We'll go File, Save As. Let's see here. Let's pull over our thing here to find out what type of file was this. .ini. So we need to make sure. We'll just go to All Files here. Click on Links. You don't want to save it as a TXT file because obviously these are INI files. So again, if you go to the All Files, click on it, hit the Save button. It'll allow you to replace it. We still have it here though, right? So we need to right-click, refresh the skin, and there we go. Now when I click on that, it's bringing up the rain meter right over here. Alright? So that's basically how we're going to go through and do that. Now, some of them, as I said before, are a little bit more difficult than others. So right up here, these ones get slightly more difficult. If I right-click on this, I look at futuristic cityscape large launchers. Then I can come in and I can go, that's the wrong one, isn't it? Well, maybe we close that one. So we're going to go back to C drive users, and actually I could probably just click this because I created this before. Unfortunately that's not working, so apparently that's one of the ones that I'm going to have to try to fix here. So maybe that's where we'll start. So C drive users, Brian, documents, rain meter, skins, and what did we say? It was futuristic cityscape large launchers, right? So large launchers, we come in here. Now we have a bunch of different icons in here. What we're looking for is the one with the gear. This is our INI file, right? So we're going to right click, we're going to go to edit, and now what we need to do is we need to take a really good look at this, alright? So up here we really don't want to touch a whole lot of this. These are our variables. We've got our name, our information here, author. So obviously right here the author of this skin entirely is Media Maggot and Downs. So thank you to those guys for creating this in general. It's great. But then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to come down here and we're going to want to take a look at our different buttons that we have over here. So the one that we're looking for is this Edit Jarvis right here. Each button, you can see it has meter launcher and a number. We come down and the execute is where we kind of want to change something here. So right here is our problem because obviously my laptop has a slightly different name right there. So when I look at documents, rain meter, skins, that's kind of where we want to be, except we need the Brian underscore 000. So if I change this underscore 000, I can now go and I can save this. Alright, but before we save this and go and check to see if this works, I'm going to show you the rest of it because it gets a little bit confusing. Right here we have our meter launcher text right here, and you've got the numbers, but once you come down, we now have an H, meter launcher H, meter launcher text 2H. Alright, then we also have our meter launcher icon. Comes down with the numbers. Once we get past the last one, it goes to the same thing, H, 2H. Alright, what this is this is a double icon, double text for when we put our cursor over it. You can see how it comes out a little bit, and if we wanted to, like say Pandora here, I have it so that it changes the text as it comes out. If we do the Jarvis, you see how the icon changes, but the text stays the same. You do this with the two different icons here. So the regular icon for Jarvis would be the folder 2, whereas you can see for the F drive, it simply says folder. Alright, Now if we go down to the bottom here for 8H and 9H, you can see I've changed them up with folder 2 and folder on the opposites. So when I hit H drive or the F drive, you see how that comes out and it changes from folder to folder 2, and Jarvis does the opposite. He changes from folder 2 to folder. Alright? So I'm going to save this, go save as, and again we're going to go down to all files, and we're going to find our INI file here, and we're going to save. Yes. And then from here we should be able to exit that, and we'll actually exit that. Right click on here, refresh the skin, and now look at that. Now it works. It brings us straight into our skins right where we need it. Again, with that same one though, you can continue to create more of these. I think by default I only got maybe 5 of them, and then I had to create some of the rest of these. It's not hard. All you're doing is basically copying and pasting, but making sure that you have the same number in every section. So if you have 9 of these and you want to add a 10th, then you need to have a 10th execute. You need to have a 10 and a 10H for both the text and the icon. Alright? So just basic programming there, and this is very simplistic type programming. Realistically, all we're really having to do is edit. Now we're going to go and I'm going to finish up with one of the more difficult ones. Now obviously this circle in the middle is actually probably the most complicated to do. You'll figure that one out as you kind of go through it, because one of the kind of nice things, especially if you're in a network situation, is each one of these circles actually represents a network drive, and you can basically change those to match your different network drives, so on and so forth. So again, you basically you can edit this one on your own, kind of play around with it. But what I'm going to show you is the weather, because the weather, I believe, comes defaulted to Los Angeles. Obviously, if you don't live in Los Angeles, it's kind of pointless to have the weather from Los Angeles. So I'm going to right click on it. It's going to be Tech A Weather. So we'll come in and we'll go to the Tech A, and we'll open this up, and we'll find the weather, and then we will go in here and right click and go down to edit here. So the difficult part with editing the weather here is that you're basically going to have to go to a weather website and try to actually find the code for your geographical location. So in this, it actually gives you a way to find this. So your location is basically, you're going to go to www.weather.com, and it basically tells you straight out. When in your city page, copy the 8-digit code at the URL in the address. Your location should look something like this. Alright, so I'm living in Wisconsin, so your code should look something like this. Once you enter this in, it will change the location of the weather, and it will grab everything you need from that location. Now you do need to copy the whole URL down here as well. So not only do you need it in the location, but you need to also put it right down here. This is the full location to basically the city in which you live in. You don't need to edit anything else down here. None of this needs to be edited unless you really know what you're doing. And in that case, then, you know, come down, have some fun with this, and play around as much as you like. But basically all of this right here is going to reference this location code and this website, and it's basically just pulling information off of that page, putting it into here, so that your weather will come out and actually show you what your current weather is. Today it is cold, and what it's going to be like tomorrow and the next day. So again, you can edit all of these. This is also another bar of quick launch icons that I have created. I think it comes defaulted with 4, and then I just kept adding on to it. Same thing with these, you know. Also, you can it comes with this little start menu as well that you can put down near your start menu, that gives you a little thing that'll tell you how full your different drives are, your CPU, your RAM usage, all that kind of stuff. big old clock so that you can put maybe one of these on one monitor, one on another, so you can easily check the time at all times if you're trying to balance your time. If you're doing this on a laptop, you do get this little Wi-Fi percentage. It'll show you your Wi-Fi connection, and then you get these cool little aliens right here that'll actually show you the exact bits per second that your Wi-Fi or your LAN, in my case, is actually sending out, which I'm not doing a whole lot of right now. But again, there are many different types of skins as well. Don't think that this is the only one that you can do. I've pulled over this right here, which is a really good example of all of the different Rainmeter skins that people have created. So this person right here actually created a really cool, what looks like a blackboard. They're probably a teacher, and all of their stuff basically comes up as looks like it's written on a chalkboard. All of these are still interactive. They can still click on all of these different things and get things to pop up, so on and so forth. And you come down and you look at all of these other ones. You know, people have completely customized their screens. You know, I really like this one this person did. You know, they came up with this is a background right here of the Earth, and then they just moved all of this stuff to where it follows the line of that background. Alright, so the Rainmeter itself doesn't put the background onto your computer, it just puts these other things onto your desktop. What's kind of funny about this is that this person must really like Macs, but this is only available on Windows right now. So they basically put almost like a Mac type bar on their computer here, which is kind of amusing, actually. You know, whereas other people have done some more cartoon-based ones. I kind of like this one too. This little Game Boy. Obviously, it's Rainmeter, so it's you know, you can play music from right here. You can see what his CPU and RAM usage are, and I'm sure that these buttons are probably interactive as well. We'll keep coming down. Fun one. This one was kind of amusing. It's probably made for somebody's kid. You know, you've got the frog from the Princess and the Frog there. You know, you've got all kinds of other you know, different types. For those that like it nice and clean but just want those basics on their bar, you can create it like this. Hide your taskbar at the bottom and go for that. So the possibilities are endless. I hope that this tutorial has kind of helped you to see how to set this up initially and how to play around with it. Again, once you have this set up, obviously for me this background probably isn't going to work very well. I might need to change that. And just kind of look into there. Have some fun, play with it, enjoy.